Welcome to Joseph Greco Field as this evening your host, the Clifton Mustangs, take on the visiting Ridgewood Maroons. This is the 2025 season opener for both clubs, as both teams do have a history in facing one another, squaring off 5 times in the past 7 years, as both teams splitting the last 2 contests. Ridgewood held a 6-4 record last season as they play in the Liberty Red Division, and Clifton with a 3-6 record in the Freedom Blue Division. Both clubs have a storied tradition of playing football going back decades, and tonight will certainly be a battle of the running game for both teams, as both sides do like to ground and pound the football. Welcome, everybody. I'm Marcello Monti, and I'm delighted to bring you this play-by-play this evening alongside my partner, Vinny Chantrullo. And Vinny, we have 2 teams with, as mentioned, storied traditions. It all begins with their respective head coaches, starting with Clifton Ralph Sinque.
Yeah, Marcello. Ralph Sinque has been coach of Clifton for the past about 10 years now. He started in 2015 as the coach of Clifton, and he has a 57-44-1 record. And the Mustangs reached the sectional playoffs 8 consecutive years, from 2016 to 2023. Ralph Sinque has been here the whole time. He was also a former player. So Ralph Sinque has been doing a fantastic job along with his coordinators, one of which being a former quarterback for Clifton, Anthony Giordano.
And on the other side, Torrey Watson had been named new head football coach at Ridgewood High School in 2023, replacing Chuck Johnson, who resigned after 38 seasons at the helm.
Yeah, Coach Johnson was a fantastic coach at Ridgewood, racking up 300 wins in approximately 40 years. He was fantastic, and Coach Watson has done a pretty solid job himself, having a 10-9 record over the past 2 seasons. Last season, he beat Clifton, and the season prior to that, his first season, he actually ended up losing to Clifton in a really close battle. So his record against Clifton at Ridgewood is 1-1, and we'll see who gets the upper hand today.
And certainly, can't paint a better picture for tonight. This is week 0 in the high school football schedule. Absolutely gorgeous night here at Joseph Greco Field at Clifton Stadium, as Ridgewood will kick off to start this ball game, and Clifton will be on the receiving end as game is underway. Ball kicked along, and that's number 5. That's Uriel. Number 6. He's going up the field, straight to the field. Had a gap. It's tackled at about the 28-yard line. Nice return there by Clifton. And certainly when we look at Clifton, we look at players to watch, and certainly one that we'll focus on today, Vinny, is Uriel Watt.
Yeah, Watt was fantastic last year. One of the best players on the Clifton offense. Clifton and Ridgewood actually both run the same offensive concept, the wing T. And from what I understand, this is Clifton's 2nd year running that, and you're going to see a lot of runs today. You're going to see a lot of multiple people in the backfield. As you can see, there's already 3 people in the backfield to start.
And here we have quarterback Messiah Campbell. He's looking to hand off. That is Uriel Watt, as mentioned, going along the left-hand side. Doesn't have much room to run. Tackled for about a 1-yard loss. And certainly, as you mentioned, Uriel Watt will be featured. Had over a 500 yards rushing last year and a score. And starting lineups today, you have left tackle Aiden Romero, number 65. Left guard Jason Perez, he's number 54. At center, Bruce Valadares, number 62. Jaden Walker at right guard. And at tackle, Shkam Jimo. And at quarterback, as mentioned, we have Messiah Campbell, number 9, handing off. This is number 7. And that is Joseph Deming. He's a 5'10", 182 senior. Again, not much room there, a gain of about 3 yards.
Yeah, and Clifton so far, they've had 2 plays. They've only got 2 yards out of it. But this is also a really tricky team to run the wing T against, because this is a team that's been running the wing T offense for approximately 40 years. So if there's any team that knows how to defend it, it's got to be this team, Marcello.
And it's going to be tough. But again, for Clifton today, what we're looking to do, Vinny, is hopefully keep themselves in the game, run ball, keep control of the clock, hopefully move the chains. And here we are, 3rd and long. Snap. Rolling out right, Campbell looking for a pass, and and incomplete. Was looking. There is a flag on the play. Jaden Mazzone was the intended receiver. That was 3rd and long. Flag on the play. Let's see what the call is here. 10-19 opening quarter, and it is a hold. And I would assume Ridgewood would decline the penalty and Clifton would punt.
Yeah, and an excellent opening drive for the Maroons here, getting a 3 and out to start the game against a team that they've played so many times over the years. And I feel like, Clifton has a lot of rivals, and these two teams have kind of become rivals over the years with how much they play each other, and that's a perfect opening drive for the Maroons, and they have a chance to potentially take advantage here.
Clifton here punting on their first possession. Ball at the 31. Decent punt. Ball will roll at about the 34-yard line, 37-yard line. And Ridgewood will take the field for the first time this evening, and they're led by quarterback Gavin McGrone.
Yep, and you know what? Their quarterback room is just as good as their running back room. They have done a fantastic job building an offense that kind of sticks to the game plan. Coach Watson has not shied away from what Coach Johnson built here over 40 years. And an interesting thing I must mention is that Coach Watson was a part of that coaching staff when Coach Johnson was here. So expect to see a similar offense potentially.
2 wide right here. Gavin McCrone under center. Nobody in the backfield. So you got 3 wide right. Man in motion. McCrone left, looking for a receiver, and over the head. Intended was Brody Parapento. Gavin McCrone will be again the center. He's a 6', 185 captain. He is a junior. Again, started last year. Did have some yards on offense, combined 500 yards as a sophomore, including 2 touchdowns, and he also plays defense, Vinny.
Yeah, and an interesting thing I saw there on the Clifton side of things, the Mustangs defense, they have 6 people on the line right now. They have 6 in the box. They're expecting the run.
Handoff up the middle, and for no gain, rather. Nice tackle. And that's Jane Romero on the tackle, Aiden Romero. And starting defense for Clifton, that nose tackle, as mentioned, number 65, Aiden Romero. He's a 6'2", 180-pound senior. He does play both sides. Michael Torres, number 55, another senior, 240-pound, 6-foot senior. Defensive end, Jason Perez, number 54. He's a 5'9", 235-pound sophomore. And linebackers, we have Jaden Washington, Yandel Molina, and Joseph Domingue. And Domingue will play both sides of the ball, too. 3rd down and long here for Ridgewood. McCrone will look to take it himself, and no gain. Good tackle there up the middle by Clifton, and leads a 3rd and long here for Ridgewood on their first offensive possession.
Yeah, and an absolutely good hit right there. You could see he thought he had a hole up the middle, and the Clifton defense was not holding back on that one. I could just tell both of these teams are fired up and ready to go for this game. A great start for the Clifton defense. Both defenses. It might be a defensive battle here today. Not a lot of passing either.
With Ridgewood's first punt of the game, first possession. Low snap. Punt is underway. Decent punt. And return up the middle. Has some gap, and he's tackled right about the 36-yard line. As Jaden Mazzone, he's a 6', 140-pound junior on the return. So decent field position for Clifton on their second possession.
Yeah, great field position. Again, it's just a matter of being able to take advantage of that field position when it's given to you. Both of these teams have had really good starting field positions on both of their drives. Even Clifton, who started the game with the ball. So they're both going to go ahead and try and take advantage of that, as one of these two teams, I believe, called the timeout.
And, yep, looks like plays back underway. Offense back on the field here for Clifton. This is their second possession, 8:34 opening quarter. And looks like they'll go out of the shotgun once again, with quarterback number 9, Messiah Campbell. He's a junior, 5'10", 145. Up the middle, a little bit of a gap, and that's Uriel Watt again, gain of about 5.
Yeah, I love that run by Uriel Watt. Uriel Watt, like you mentioned, he is a 5'6", 145-pound running back. That's not the biggest guy in the world, but he still got through the A-gap, put his shoulder down, and ran through quite a few people there.
Clifton on the hurry up. 2nd down and roughly 4. plays coming in. Messiah Campbell in the shotgun position again. Domingue to his right. He'll hand off to Joseph Domingue and has a little bit of a gap there, but he's tackled for about a 2-yard gain.
I love the fact that Clifton was running the hurry up because it shows that Clifton wants to capitalize on momentum. You know, momentum is a very important part of football, Marcello, and if you don't have momentum, you're not going to win any games.
Drew Gorman on a tackle. Drew Gorman, he is a 6'2", 195-pound senior linebacker playing for Ridgewood. Uriel Watt switches out as Messiah Campbell comes back in. They will rotate quarterbacks to Clifton. They'll combine quarterbacks to Messiah Campbell and Ryan Sisko. Big play here, 3rd and about 3. Campbell under center. One set offense. Snap up the middle, and looks like there's enough there for the first down, and it is. Chains will move. First down of the game here for Clifton.
Yeah, and a great run there. Again, Clifton not shying away from the run. Obviously, that's the whole point of the wing T offense, and you're going to see a lot of those, Monty. You're going to see a lot of those runs where they just lower the shoulder and just run through players. I mean, you're going to expect a lot of good plays from the offensive line, but really those running backs got to stay fresh, and I love how they rotate them very often.
And they certainly do, and it is anchored by the offensive line. Certainly a big offensive line for Clifton. Campbell in the shotgun. Again for Joseph Domingue. He got a nice gap there, gain of about 5 off the right tackle. Good gain there for Clifton, first down.
Yeah, another nice play, and right up the middle. I mean, he was able to Clifton's doing a really good job so far, setting up the blocks, giving enough time for the running backs to find those holes and get those yards. And, you know, they might not be super explosive like 20, 30-yard plays, but they're getting those nice chunk plays, about 3 to 7 yards every single run, and that's what's important. They're already across midfield in the enemy territory.
Second down, 5, manageable 5. Messiah Campbell again, under center. Hands off to Watt. Watt scoots left, gets a hole up the crease, has some room, and he's tackled. Great gain there by Uriel Watt. Off left tackle.
And an excellent run there. And I was just talking about those 5 to 7 yard plays, but once you start running the ball, that's how you wear the defense down, and that's what opens up those big plays I was just talking about. So Clifton's running the ball a lot. That's their second first down of the game, and an excellent run.
Gain of about 16 there. Uriel Watt with a nice run. Another first down here for Clifton. And this is exactly what Coach Cinque wants. Control the clock. Make sure they manage the down and distance. And right now, it's exactly where they need to be. First down here, Messiah in shotgun. Uriel Watt again. That's a strong tackle up the middle. Nice tackle there by Quinn Coney. He's a 6', 205 middle linebacker, also captain of the defensive side of the ball for Ridgewood.
Yeah, and that's
so no gain there.
Buzzkill. That's a definite buzzkill for a drive like that. I mean, they ran it right to the left side, and I don't really understand why they were running to the left side there, Marcello. I mean, they've been doing such a good job running it in the A gap, more to the right, more to the near side of the field. But I mean, I guess it was a shot. I mean, at least they didn't lose any yards. So the clock's still running. Clifton's still in enemy territory. They have another chance here to make up for that.
That's a good point. You want to stay ahead of the chains. Here's Messiah Campbell again. Looking to pass right. Finds a receiver along the right-hand side. Complete. And that's a gain of about 4 yards. Nice completion there. Aiden Hussey on the receiving end there. 5'6", senior, 140 pounds. Was able to catch the ball. Good completion there. Sets up a 3rd and short yardage, 3rd and 3. Ball at about the 28-yard line.
That's an excellent play there. I love that comeback route. He was wide open. You could tell that the defensive backs were so far away. A great play call there from Anthony Giordano, the offensive coordinator. You won't see them pass the ball a lot, but that's an excellent pass right there as we come here for this 3rd and short.
Messiah Campbell, short distance. Joseph Domingue, one back set. They'll hand off Domingue up the middle, looking to get the yardage. It's going to be close, and it'll all depend on where the spot is. I think he may be a little short. May set up a 4th and short here. Joseph Domingue. Again, Joseph Domingue will get a lot of work tonight. He plays both sides of the ball. Joseph Domingue, number 7. He's a senior, 5'10", 182 pounds. Works both sides of the ball and sets up a 4th and less than 1. So another short distance play here. Messiah Campbell getting instructions from coach. Again, as Vinny mentioned before, coaches for Clifton, the Giordano brothers, both on offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Anthony on the offensive end, Nick on the defensive end. Here we go. Big play here, early stages of the game. Messiah Campbell, and looks like there will be a timeout.
Yes.
Timeout called by Clifton. I guess they didn't like the formation nor how much time they had left in the play clock to go up to the line, so they want to be careful there. Call timeout. Let's get together and maybe get it 4th down here in which they can convert.
Yeah, Coach Giordano, and you could see even all the coaches on the sideline, they were furious about the situation there. They didn't have a lot of time to get the ball off, but you know what? I actually think it's a really good idea to call a timeout. Make sure that you know what you're going to do when you get up to the line. You have to make sure that you're confident with the play that you're calling. This is a 4th and inches situation, and if I was Clifton here, personally, I would go with a quarterback sneak. Just let the quarterback fall forward. You don't need 5 or 6 yards here. You only need 1. And if you're and Clifton is a very run-heavy team. Both of these teams are very run-heavy. So, and it's only 4th and inches. I expect a run either here from the quarterback or one of the running backs here, Marcello.
And Coach Sinkyu has to be very happy in terms of how Clifton has opened up this game here season 1.
Yeah, an excellent start for Clifton. I mean, even if they don't convert here, you're not giving up bad field position. They're going to have to start at the 25, which means Ridgewood would have to drive about 75 yards downfield. So a pretty good start here for Clifton, but let's see if they can convert.
2-back set, Messiah under Campbell. Under center, quarterback sneak, as you mentioned, Vinny. Is there enough? It's going to be close. Depends on the spot. It's going to be close. It looks like he may get it, and yes, they do give him the 1st down. 1st down, Clifton.
And a great play call there by Coach Giordano, a former quarterback himself. Coach Giordano used to run a lot with the ball. If you've ever watched him play when he was a student here at Clifton, he ran the ball a lot. And I absolutely love that play call there. Great job by Clifton to be able to pick up the 1st down. And they're not worried about time either. They're taking their time. They're in no rush. And we are already about 10 minutes through the 1st quarter. So a great job here by Clifton with clock management and keeping the chains going.
Campbell in the shotgun. Deming to his left. Here is Watt. Watt along the left-hand side. May have a gap here looking to stretch out, but good tackle outside. Good tackle there by Ridgewood.
Yeah, 3 Maroons
number
there.
17, Camden Zaza. He's a 5'10", 140-pound corner. Came up on the line, made a nice tackle there. Looked like there was some space there for Uriel Watt, but Ridgewood closed down very quickly.
Yeah, 3 people on the Ridgewood defense ready for Watt, and I think they're going to keep an eye on him after seeing how he's been doing at the start of the game. And like you mentioned earlier, Marcello, you said that Dumeng might not get a lot of play time because he's going to play on both sides of the ball. So they're definitely going to keep more of an eye on Watt due to the fact that Dumeng might be tired from playing offense and defense. But let's see how this drive progresses.
Campbell in the shotgun. Watt to his right. Campbell, ball's on the ground, fumble, but he's able to recover. Oh, could have been costly there for Clifton, but he was able to recover his own fumble. Loss of yardage there. We'll set up a 3rd and long. 1:50 left to go here, opening quarter.
Yeah, a little bit rattled there, and they said a loss of 5 on the play, so it's going to be 3rd and 15. And this is very far for a field goal, especially for a high school kicker. So I doubt they're going to go for a field goal, and I doubt they would punt the ball if they have to come down to a 4th and long situation. But Clifton definitely needs to get some yards here. They need to go forward to at least put the team in field goal range.
So here we go. 3rd and approximately 15. Campbell in the shotgun. Deming to his right. Campbell out wide to Mazzone. Completion, but he's tackled, and that'll set up a 4th and about 12. Only a gain of about 3. Was completed along the left-hand side. Let's see what Coach does here on a 4th and long. Ball at approximately the 26-yard line.
Looks like Clifton's making a few subs here, about 3 new guys going in. And I think Clifton might go for it here, and I wouldn't be surprised because there's no point in punting. That's too far of a field goal. Clifton has to get some points on the board here, and because if they give the ball back to Ridgewood, a lot of these guys on offense, Marcello, are also players on the defensive side of the ball. So Clifton needs a lot of yards here, and they need to get them on one chunk play. So let's see what they do.
Campbell in shotgun. Deming to his left. 3 wide set to the right. And And the flag on the play. Clifton left early. That's going to set them back even further. And that's a false start. Certainly miscommunication there on the offensive end there, Vinny.
Yeah, I think when you're watching Clifton and you especially look at the last few plays, Clifton is definitely rattled now. I don't know what happened, but I feel like ever since that fumble, they've definitely been rattled. They haven't been themselves like we saw quite literally a few minutes ago. And it just shows you how interesting this game is and how this game is a chess match.
And that'll run out the clock. They'll let the clock run out. First quarter has come to an end. The score is 0-0, and we'll be back as the second quarter opens. Thank you for joining us here on the Clifton live stream. Again, Marcello Monti here with Vinny Trucciolo. Happy to bring the opening game for you here, game one here at Clifton Stadium.
Make sure if we get trips, we're making a full adjustment if Quinn is related to 3. Okay, we get Quinn's here. And tell Chloe to sync up in the set. I need something. I'm going to have him there. Doesn't look like we get trips. Give us some tape. Count them up. Make sure we got 11. Make sure we got 11 for the first tee. We got it.
Okay, we're back here. Opening play, second quarter. Score is 0-0. And Clifton has decided to punt the ball. Punt is deep, and it'll roll into the end zone. Only a net gain of about 15 yards as Ridgewood will take possession on their second possession of the game. Opening stages here, second quarter.
Yeah, and Clifton really shot themselves in the foot at the end of that drive with that false start. You know, I feel like if they hadn't had that false start, maybe they would still be on the offensive side of the ball. But unfortunately, things didn't just go their way. But we saw one thing, Marcello, and that is on the opening drive for Ridgewood. Clifton's defense was just as lethal as I've ever seen it. Their defense was fantastic. So let's see if they can keep up that momentum on the defensive side.
Second possession here for Ridgewood. Gavin McCrone again, returning junior under center. One back set, man in motion. He'll hand up the middle. No, it's Gavin McCrone up the right-hand side. Does have some room, but he's tackled there. Nice tackle by Thomas Bowman. He's a 6'1", 100-pound senior. Gain of about 4. We'll call it 2nd and 6. Ball at the 24-yard line.
And an absolutely fantastic hit there. I love the way that Thomas Bowman he lowered the shoulder and was able to just lay an extra little bit of hit there, put a lot behind it too. And it shows, like, you know, sure, you let him get 5 yards, but you hit him real hard. That's what you want to do. If you're going to let them get a lot of yards, you better make them pay for it.
Second down. McCrone under center. Man in motion. And handoff is left-hand side. Does have some room. Is enough for a first down. And he's tackled by Uriel Watt. That's Bew Woodrick. He's a 5'11", 175 running back. Sophomore. Gain of about 8, we'll call it. And we'll call it 1st and 10. First down of the game for Ridgewood.
Yeah.
Ball at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, and a great play there. A classic jet sweep. That's a great play right there. You usually get your fastest guy to come in motion. The quarterback gives the handoff and, you know, fakes to hang on to it. And the Clifton defense just wasn't ready for it. I think an excellent play call there by Coach Watson.
One back set. McCrone under center. One split ride. Man in motion, handoff right-hand side. Got room there. Clifton looking to stretch out defense. Good tackle there along the right-hand side. Again, nice tackle there by Uriel Watt. Was able to make a tackle by Watt. Gain still of about 5. Good yardage here for Ridgewood. First down on a sweep right.
Marcello, you ever heard the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? That's exactly what they did there. They ran the same exact play just on the other side. And if it's going to work, then just keep running it. I don't see why they wouldn't. I love that play call. You get your fastest guy run on the outside. They can't stop it. Let's see what they do here.
9:55 here, second quarter. McCrone under center. Hand up off the middle. Some gap there. Was able to get some yardage, enough for the first down. Tackle there by number 54, Jason Perez. He's a 5'9", 235-pound sophomore. So another first down here. Here, Ridgewood moving the chains on their second possession.
A lot of run plays here. Another great run. Ridgewood has a lot of running backs to go through. This is a team that has been relevant for about 50 years now. They have been such a good high school football team, and they have running backs for the whole game ready, fresh.
One back set here. McCrone under center. First down. And McCrone will keep it himself along the left-hand side, looking to stretch it out. And good defense there. Good tackle. Nice tackle there by Clifton as they were able to make the tackle along the left-hand side. Mazzone with the tackle was able to limit the yardage.
And I got to say, Bowman did a really good job there making the tackle, number 10. He's the one who blew up that play. If it wasn't for him, he might have had maybe 4 or 5 yards, but this is the least amount of yards they've gotten on a play so far this entire drive. They got 2, and they still got a long way to go. So a great job there by the linebackers, keeping this Ridgewood offense from getting to the second level.
2nd and 8. McCrone under center. 2 split ride right, man in motion. No pitch to the right-hand side. And Clifton's looking ready for it. Was able to break a tackle and was still able to get some yards as Brody Parapento, 5'11", 180-pound junior on a carry, was able to break a tackle, get some yardage here, set up about a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, and an awesome defensive play there by Clifton, but they just couldn't finish on that play. They had him in the backfield for maybe a gain of 1 or even less than that, maybe negative yards, but Clifton just couldn't finish that tackle. But the good thing is they kept them from getting that first down. Now Clifton has to capitalize. It's 3rd and 4. They need to get the ball back on offense because I can tell this at least. I don't know if you can, Marcello, but this defense is tired.
Clifton on the ball on a 48. Clifton's 48. Sets up a 3rd and 4, 7:49 clock running here, second quarter. McCrone under center will keep it himself up the middle, and looks like he may have enough for the first down. And McCrone kept it on the sneak.
Looked like Clifton was scrambling for the ball there.
It did. Looked like maybe the ball was on the ground. McCrone was able to hold on. First down here, Ridgewood at 4th first down on this drive alone. Keeping the clock, keeping control of the clock. 7:30 left to go here in the first half.
So I believe who was making the tackle there, Marcello, was safety number 4, Jarrett Rodriguez. And if you notice, Rodriguez used his shoulder and hit the ball. So he was going after the ball, and I think that's why Clifton was scrambling for it. But Ridgewood is safe, and they got that first down.
Rodriguez, a 5'9", 150-pound near junior. So McCrone under center. He'll drop back, looking to pass up the middle. Does have a man, but he overthrows him. Wow, he was open there in the seam, but McCrone missed him as he threw over the head of Brody Parapento, as that will set up now a 2nd and 10.
And you know, when you're standing behind those linemen and you're trying to make that throw when you have pressure in your face, that's not an easy throw to make. You got to throw it over the shoulder, right to the chest of the receiver or tight end or whoever you're throwing the ball to. That is not an easy throw. But you know what? I'm going to say one thing. That was a fantastic play call. That was a good route. They were wide open, but I just got to say that's a hard throw to make. You only see that throw from guys who are going to, from the pro level, and that's not an easy throw, even for a pro.
3 wide left-hand side, McCrone under center. Man in motion, left to right. McCrone veering left, looking to go up the middle, but he is going to be tackled short. Nice tackle there. That was number 65, Aiden Romero. He's a 6'2", 180-pound senior. And Aiden Romero, he impressed coaches last year, Vinny, both sides of the ball.
Yeah, that's why Romero is back again. And you know what? He is one of the captains on this defense. When you look at this defense, there are quite a few seniors, and he is one of them. He played last year. He's a big, destructive nose tackle, and he really disrupted the offense there, being able to get to the quarterback no problem. And, I mean, just a great tackle and a way to set up a 3rd and long.
He's a big guy, but he's not as big as my friend Pete McGinnis. I don't have Gavin McCrone under center. McCrone one back set, looking to hand off, does hand off, but it's stuffed right up the middle. No gain there as defense in the middle again. And you mentioned it before, Vinny, the interior of the defense of Clifton, they've been impressive here today.
Yeah, that's been the best part of the Clifton defense overall. And they have been absolutely fantastic, top tier. The defensive line has been able to not only stop the run, but they've been also able to get to the quarterback. And I think the Clifton defense has definitely turned a lot of heads. And I think they're certainly better this year than they were last year.
Sets up a 4th and 7, and looks like, Vinny, they're going to go for it here. Ball on the Clifton 39, 4th down. This is a big play. McCrone under center.
And maybe they could be trying to draw them off sides, too.
McCrone, though, veers left. He's looking to pass. Does have a gap up the middle, but he's tackled by Romero again. And he's not going to make it. He's going to fall short. Big play there by defense for Clifton. As turnover on downs, and Clifton will regain possession here, and this will be their 3rd possession of the game. Still 0-0, 5:20 left to go here, first half.
Aiden Romero, again, with another fantastic play. That is 3 straight times now Aiden Romero has backed this Clifton defense. He did an amazing job there on this drive. 3 tackles, 3 stops. Clifton's going to get the ball back, and they're going to be able to hopefully capitalize. So far, nobody's scored. It's just a defensive battle today, Marcello.
And we expected this too, Vinny. We knew that both sides will run the ball. It's all going to depend on who breaks here. Still 0-0 as quarterback here is Ryan Cisco. He's a 5'11", 135-pound sophomore on a shotgun. Cisco under quarter, he'll hand it off to Deming. Deming with a gap there, a little bit of yardage there, good gain, about 5 yards. Sets up about a 2nd and 5, ball about the 40.
Another good run there from Deming. You know, this they have a really good two-headed monster in the backfield with Deming and Watt, and I'm really impressed with how they played so far.
Cisco again, shotgun formation. 2-back set. And he kneels down. I'm not sure what happened just there. I'm not sure if there was a flag. We'll see what the umpire says here. As I believe there may be a false start. Not sure.
I can't quite tell what happened there. I think Clifton maybe thought there was a flag of some sort, and it looks like they're moving the ball back about 5 yards. I'm not sure if he thought there was a flag or if he just straight up slipped, but it's going to be 3rd and 10, and Clifton went from a 5-yard gain to a 5-yard loss, so now they got to put up a total of 10 yards here and hope they get this first down after that big mistake.
So 4:12 and counting, 2nd quarter, sets up a 3rd and 10 on their own 35. Cisco on shotgun. He'll veer right. He's going to look to throw, but he's sacked. Sacked for a loss. That's number 58, Drew Gorman. He's a 6'2", 195-pound linebacker. Came in and he read the play very quickly and sacked Cisco for about a 12-yard loss. Sets up a 4th and long. Clifton has no choice here but to punt.
Yeah, that was a very well-designed play. Obviously a blitz of some sort, and he got right to the quarterback and absolutely buried him in the backfield. A fantastic play by the defense to set up a 4th and long. And this might end up being a really good thing for Ridgewood because the punting hasn't been exactly very far this game, so maybe they get a good field position here, Marcello.
Still time here left, 2nd quarter, 3:20. Thomas Bauman back to punt. Bauman at about his own 12-yard line. Does get the punt off. Decent punt. Will go out of bounds. No, it's going to roll. And nice roll here for Clifton. Gets a nice bounce. And they'll let it roll till about the 36-yard line. And that's where Ridgewood will have their 4th possession of the game. And with 3 minutes exactly left to go in the half, still a 0-0 score.
And a
Clifton
good setup here for Ridgewood. Actually, really solid field position. Last time they were out here on the field, they did a really good job on the offensive side of the ball. Ground and pound, really, really good plays. And, it all came down to Aiden Romero making some big plays for the Mighty Mustangs defense. Let's see how Aiden Romero does on this drive, and let's see how the Ridgewood offense does as they're moving back here quite a bit. I don't know if there was a flag or whatnot, but...
Oh, roughing.
I believe it was roughing the punter, and that's going to result in a loss of a lot of yards.
Yeah, it looks like they'll regain possession here. Ridgewood at the 21. That's a big play call because it does set them back, whereas we thought they were going to have good field position. Now at their own 21, 1st and 10 at the 21. That's Gavin McCrone with a one-back set. Man in motion, left to right, hands up the middle. Big gap there, tackled, and good gain. Ball's on the ground. There's the ball on the ground. It could be a fumble, and it is. Clifton regains possession on the fumble as the first turnover of the game is recovered by Clifton, as the tackle was made by Jaden Mazzone and recovered by Clifton, and Clifton will now regain possession on their own 31.
And an excellent defensive play there. They saw him go in the gap, and I thought that could have been a touchdown, but he went right for the legs, dove for him, and I believe the ball came loose before he hit the ground. Clifton, fantastic awareness on the defensive side of the ball, able to jump on top of it, and now they have a drive in the 34-yard line. They have great field position here, Marcello.
That was Jared Rodriguez on the recovery. And we have Messiah Campbell back and shotgun, handing over to Watt. Watt tackled for a loss. No gain there as Drew Gorman, again, the one who had a sack earlier in the game, came up and made the tackle in the backfield.
Yeah, and he was the drive killer for Clifton last time. I mean, when he was out there, he has been wreaking havoc. He got a sack. He had a sack, and now he has a TFL, a tackle for loss. And there's only 2.5 minutes left to go in this quarter. One of these teams are trying to get on the board. Both teams scoreless right now, but Clifton needs to get in the field goal range at least and try and put some points on the board so they can go into halftime leading and come out with the ball.
Messiah Campbell in the shotgun. 2nd and 14. Looking over to Coach Giordano for the play call. Uriel Watt in the backfield along with Joseph Deming. And what is the call here? Maybe a timeout, Clifton. It is their second timeout of the half. So the second timeout. Clifton opening up here, of course, against Ridgewood. The next two games on September 5th, they play at Eastside. On the 12th, at Passaic. Their next home game actually is the 19th against Morristown. And then they play at Bayonne, at Morris Knolls. So only one home game until the 17th, which is homecoming against Passaic County Tech. And they close out the season on October 24th against East Orange. Of course, Clifton playing in the Freedom Blue Division along with Eastside, Kennedy, the aforementioned PCTI, and Passaic. Ridgewood opening up here, of course, at Clifton, or home, the next 2 weeks against Montclair and Ramapo. At Piscataway, home against PCTI. They play at Hackensack, and they close out their season against Northern Highlands and Wayne Valley. Campbell to Deming. Deming looking to break right, gain of about 3 yards. They're still behind the chain, sets up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, and that actually brought back a lot of memories from when I first started doing announcing from this game. Seeing that formation, that I formation. The reason it's called the I formation is because the running back, the fullback, and the quarterback are lined up like the letter I, and they ran in that formation. I love that because not only do you have the 5 or 6 linemen in front of you, but you have the fullback in front of you as the running backs. You have a lot of blockers, and you're able to take your time, have that patience, and try and get a few yards. And I believe Clifton got a small gain there. So let's see what Clifton does here. It's third, and they got a lot of yards to get here if they want to get this first down.
Could be 2 down set here. As McCampbell drops back, he's going to look to pass. He reverses it to Deming. Does have some green grass in front of him. He's looking to get up the field, and a gain of about 7-8 yards sets up a 4th and short. And I think Coach Sinkyu will definitely go for it here on a 4th and short.
Yeah, absolutely. With the clock ticking, they don't have a whole lot of yards to get. And that play right there, exactly what Clifton needs to rely on, the offensive line. That is a textbook screen, a great call by Coach Giordano, who runs runs this offense, and an awesome screen play. I love that play call. That shows how much confidence Clifton puts in their offensive line and their running backs. But you also have to have a good amount of confidence in your fullback as well, or in your quarterback as well. That was not an easy throw. He took that snap, had his back turned back, threw the ball, and Dumeng got about 10 or 12 yards there, and it sets up a 4th and 2.
That was a great play call there. Dumeng, again, so active both on the offensive, defensive end, was able to make a cut, gain extra yards, sets up a 4th and short, 4th and 2 with 44 seconds left. And again, Clifton has to be ecstatic, knowing that last year, as you mentioned, Vinny, took a thumping from Ridgewood. And here they are right in the game, playing well on both sides of the ball. And certainly here with an opportunity with 44 seconds left to put some points on the board.
Yeah, and I'm sure Clifton fans are pleasantly surprised with how they've played. And it looks like Clifton's lining up here on the left hash, maybe going for a kick. I'm not sure, but I think they're going to have to go for it on 4th and 2.
And Campbell in shotgun, and looks like Ridgewood now will counter with their own timeout. This will be their first timeout of the half. Allows both teams to huddle and get their play calls in. Again, as Vinny mentioned, both Anthony Giordano and Nick Giordano, both coordinators for Clifton, both former students of Clifton. For Ridgewood, you have Michael Davenport as assistant coach, along with Ted Evans, Rob Gentile, and Ryan Maxwell. Certainly well-coached teams on both sides, Vinny, and certainly it's on display here today.
Yeah, these two teams are both very well-coached. I mean, you know, when you're talking about Clifton, Ralph Sinkew has been here for about 10 years, and he has done a fantastic job with this organization, and he's really stayed home. You know, a lot of the guys he's hired have been internal, have been former Clifton students or formerly played with him, and obviously on the Ridgewood side, this is all a great product of Coach Johnson, who we have a lot of respect for, who has coached there for 38 years, and he keeps a lot of internal guys as we come out for this 4th and short.
Big play here now. Campbell on this shotgun. He's going to look to run left. He does have somewhat of a gap, but he stopped short. Nice tackle there by number 15, Hudson Feeney. He's a 6'3", 195-pound senior, captain on the defensive side. Looked like he may have had a little green grass there to get the first down, but he came up and made a nice tackle, and that'll, again, turn over on downs here for Clifton. With 39 seconds left to go here, Ridgewood. This will be their 5th possession of the half. Ball at the 29-yard line.
And, you know, he took that ball, looked like he had a little bit of space, like you mentioned, but he just ran into a brick wall. I mean, that Ridgewood Maroons defense was all over that play. But let's see what Ridgewood does here. There's only 39 seconds left in the half. I doubt Ridgewood's going to get that many yards, but you never know in the game of football.
McCrone under center, one back set. Motion left to right. He'll drop back. He's going to look to pass, and he did have a receiver open, but he shortchanged him there. Was under pressure, and being under pressure rushed his throw. And certainly, you know, the pressure was outside there by Yandel Molina and forced McCrone to throw it short.
Yeah, great defensive play there. You know, Clifton has done a really good job, and, you know, although I haven't talked a lot about their defensive backs this game, their defensive backs have done a really good job covering these receivers and giving what has been a fantastic front seven so far enough time to get pressure to the quarterback.
Very good point. Now here we go now, 2nd and 10. 33 seconds left to go in the half. McCrone hands off up the middle, and he is going to be tackled. Gain of about 5. That is Brody Parapenso again. On the rush, gain of about 5, sets up a 3rd and short. Timeout Ridgewood. They'll take their 2nd timeout of the half with 26 seconds to go in a half.
Yeah, and I understand Ridgewood's offense is all about running the ball. It's all about that ground and pound. But, you know, I'm a little confused there by that play call. I mean, you only have about 30 seconds left. You need about 50 yards to even make it near field goal range. So why would you even consider running the ball? I get it. That's what your offense is built around. But you only got 6 yards there, and sure, if you had about 2 to 3 minutes left, that would be a great play call, and it would be a pretty nice gain, and it sets you up on 3rd and manageable. But when you're running the ball and you only got 30 seconds left and you need about 50 yards to make it somewhat possible for you to score, I'm not a fan of that play call.
So Ridgewood back on the field. Starting 11 back on for Clifton. Ridgewood will hold up under the junior Macron. 3rd and 4, 26 seconds left to go in the half, still scoreless. As Macron under center, one back set. He'll drop back to pass. Does have some time. Throws it over, complete, and breaks a tackle. And outside at about the 45, good yardage there by Ridgewood, as he did have more time there and was able to complete to Brody Parapento. Parapento certainly getting himself involved in the game here, Vinny.
Yeah, an absolutely fantastic play. Good job by him getting past midfield, breaking a few tackles, making some people miss. And the key there is, Marcello, he got out of bounds. He stopped the clock, and now not only does Ridgewood have an extra set of downs, not only are they in enemy territory, but they have a nice little timeout there that they can rely on if they need to use it.
It's a pivotal point here for Clifton. Of course, they want to keep Ridgewood scoreless here in the first half. Macron under center. Watrick in motion. Macron under pressure, and he's tackled. As good play there by defense, and that's Isaiah Best on the tackle, number 98, coming in rotation. And as you mentioned before, Clifton does a nice job of rotating players in and out.
Yeah, they're keeping their players fresh, and that sack was amazing. A great job there, again, by the Clifton front seven. And I'm not discrediting their corners by any means. Their corners have been playing great, but the front seven is clearly the best part of their defense so far this game. Good pass rush, good on the run stop. Overall, really good, tough defense from the Mustangs so far.
Ridgewood uses their 3rd and final timeout of the half. Only 10 seconds left to go in the half. 2nd and 9. 1 or 2 plays left. It all depends on what the play call is here. As both teams then go back onto the field. Still 0-0 score. Here at Clifton Stadium, Joseph Greco Field, at an absolutely gorgeous August night to open up the season. And here we go. 10 seconds left to go. 2nd and 9. Macron under center. He'll drop back to pass. Does have some time. Needs to get it over the middle. Does complete it. Outside, and he'll be forced out of bounds. And
we got 1 second.
You wonder if they'll add a second there. There is 0 seconds on the clock. They'll have to look at this and see if they do add a second to the play clock. They may have to look at it. It looked like it may have been 1 second left on play clock as referees are looking over it right now.
Yeah, I mean, that was really good awareness on the field to get out of bounds. But it's all going to come down to what the referee's saying. It looks like they're going to add 1 second onto the clock, which will give them one last play here in this quarter to put some points on the board. And let's not forget one thing, Marcello. It would be really big if Ridgewood would put some points on the board, not only because nobody has scored, but because Clifton starts the second half with the ball. So if Ridgewood can get some points here, that would be huge, and they're going to have one last play to try and do it.
That was Hudson Feeney. He's a captain on the offensive side on the reception. Made a nice couple moves there and was able to get out of bounds with 1 second left. This is the last play of the half. Macron under center. He'll drop back. He's going to roll right. Does have some time. He's going to throw towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. Good defense there again by the backfield. Nice play there by Clifton. As Jaden Mazzone, the 6 foot, 145-pound junior, was able to deflect the ball out of bounds as the first half will come to an end with a 0-0 score. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back right at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome everybody back to Joseph Greco Field here at Clifton Stadium, Clifton, New Jersey, on an absolutely gorgeous August night as Game 0, Week 0, Week 1 for Clifton, first half against Ridgewood in a 0-0 deadlock. And certainly, Vinny, when we look at the first half, you have to be super impressed with the defensive side of the ball for Clifton.
Yeah, Clifton's defense has been absolutely fantastic so far, especially in the front seven. They have been able to shut down the passing game from start to finish, and even the run game, they have been really effective. And one key thing to talk about here that Clifton did really well is they were able to get turnovers. They were able to get a fumble recovery. They did a really good job on the defensive side of the ball. And the offense, although they didn't score any points, the Clifton offense showed flashes. They had a couple good runs with Dumeng and Watt, and they had a couple of decent passes here and there. But the key for Clifton this half is capitalizing on offense. Can they go into enemy territory and score, or are they going to go in enemy territory and give the ball back to the enemy?
And on Ridgewood's side of the ball, certainly we saw some glimpses of what they can do on the offensive zone, especially with quarterback Gavin McCrone.
Yeah, their quarterback has been fantastic. He's had quite a few good throws, and although he did throw the ball a lot at the end of the first half, I don't think you're going to see a lot of throws in the second half unless it comes down to crunch time again. But I think the key here for Ridgewood is ground and pound. Keep running the ball. The jet sweeps were working. The runs up the middle were working at times. Don't shy away from the run. If you have to pass it, sure, pass it. Why not? But play it like it's old school football. Run on first and second down and only pass if you have to on third down. But keep that ground and pound going. Keep running the ball, because you're going to have to wear out that Clifton defense. That defensive line and linebacker core is very dangerous for the Mustangs, and the only way you're going to be able to wear them out and get them tired is through the run game.
Think about all the hard practices over the summer in the heat, all the doubles that they had to do, all the practices off the field, making sure that they are ready for game one. And certainly Clifton has come fully prepared for the opening game here against a very tough Ridgewood team here at home. So certainly Coach has to be extremely happy with what he's seen here today.
Yeah, I think both coaches are actually pretty pleased with what they've seen, but more so Coach Sinkyu, because when you talk about Coach Sinkyu, you know he's a defensive guy. He's the one who's out there doing a lot, helping a lot with the defense, and I think he's very pleased with the way Clifton has been. And Ridgewood, I feel like they're also pretty pleased with the way they've played too, because we always talk about football, and whenever you talk about football, there is always one phrase that comes back: defense wins championships. And defense, neither defense has been bad this game. Both defenses have been great.
We got a decent crowd here, very nice crowd actually, to open up the season here at Clifton. Certainly before Labor Day. On the visiting end, certainly a nice showing for Ridgewood. Obviously, right prior to Labor Day, so a lot of people still on vacation, but a very good crowd here at Clifton Stadium. Cheer on the home Mustangs, and Clifton will kick off to start off the second half. And they'll pooch it, and ball is recovered, and they'll just stay on it, and Ridgewood will open up the second half at their own 32, starting with their junior quarterback, Gavin McCrone.
Ridgewood, again, definitely trying to score here, and they're going to keep running the ball. This is going to be a very, very, very crucial opening drive for the Maroons.
On the defensive side, you have Aiden Romero. You got Isaiah Best on the line. Number 55, Michael Torres. He's a 6', 240-pound senior. Isaiah Best, he's playing nose tackle. He's 6'3", 275. And he'll look to clog up the middle, run right. Ridgewood looking to gain some space along the right-hand side. There is a gap there as he finds a space, and he's finally tackled out of bounds. That's number 3, Brody Parapento. And certainly Parapento in the first half did see some plays work his way, and he opens up the first half with a nice gain.
And I love that opening call there by Ridgewood, running the ball on the outside. I feel like watching Ridgewood so far, especially when you watch him in the first half, half. The runs that have worked the best for them are those runs on the outside, whether it's a jet sweep or whether it's an outside handoff. They have been great on the running the ball outside the tackles, which is a really good testament to their receivers. Great blocking by them, too.
First down and 10. Opening stages here, third quarter. Man in motion, left to right. Macron will hand up off the middle. There's a gap there, and certainly it was a gap that gained another 11 yards. That's number 11, Marcus Fluch. He's a sophomore, 6 foot, 190-pound running back. First carry of the game for 13. Picks up another first down here for Ridgewood.
2 plays and 2 first downs for the Maroons so far. An excellent way to start this opening drive.
First down, Macron under center. Man in motion, left to right. Hand off to the left-hand side. Another gap here, and it's tackled. Nice tackle there along the corner. That was Demeng on the tackle, but another big gain there for Ridgewood. Gain of about 8. Sets up a second and short.
Ridgewood has done a fantastic job on this opening drive. And like I said, the key to them winning this game is going to be the ground and pound, and they have certainly been doing a good job of that. Constantly running the ball, very consistently doing a great job. And Ridgewood needs to win this game through the run game.
Macron under center, second and short. He'll hand off up the middle, and it's a first down once again. As on the carry was again Parapento, which another first down here for Ridgewood, their 4th first down on this possession. There is a flag on the play.
Looks like Ridgewood's moving back. It might be on them, but we're waiting for the call.
Certainly this will help Clifton. It is on Ridgewood, as they've been picking up big chunk yards, and it is on Ridgewood. It will set them back 5 yards.
And it was a blocking violation on the Maroons there. You know, a very crucial play there. And like I said, Cliff, they've been doing a great job on the run, but those penalties might be a drive killer. Let's see how Ridgewood bounces back.
2nd and 7. Man in motion is Parapento. Up the middle and stopped short of the first down. Nice tackle there, as sets up a 3rd and short. And as Macron on the keeper. Tackled by Watt. Uriel Watt on the defensive side, certainly playing both sides of the ball too. Uriel Watt, valuable player for Clifton, both offense and defense. Sets up a 3rd and short. You got to figure, Vinny, this is going to be 2-down territory.
Yeah, this is definitely 2-down territory, Marcello. I mean, even if they don't get the first down here, this isn't field goal range. That's a far kick. I've tried to kick a field goal before, and let me tell you, it's not easy, especially when there's a whole team of guys running at you while you're kicking it. So this is definitely 2-down territory, and let's see how they do here. The Clifton defensive line, they have 8 in the box right now.
3rd and short, Macron up the middle, and he may have the first down. That's Parapento again. Depends on the spot. I think he'll gain just enough. Should be enough to move the chains, as they'll look to see where the ball is spotted. Referee is looking, and it is another first down. Just enough for another first down. And it'll set up a 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line of Clifton.
And that was a great play by the Clifton defense right there. Actually, they didn't let him get very many yards, but Ridgewood did exactly what they needed to do. No more, no less. They needed a very short amount of yards. They got those yards, and they have a fresh set of downs, and they've chewed quite a bit of clock. We're already 3 minutes deep into the second half.
2-back set. Macron under center. Mission left to right. Hand up off the middle. It's Macron again in the keeper. Big yardage there. I think he's just short of the first down. Sets up a 2nd and short. Macron certainly getting more carries here second half.
Yeah, I love that they're sticking to the run. And you know what? Their quarterback is also kind of like their running back. He's doing a great job so far.
Injury on the play. That's Jason Perez. He's a 5'9", 235-pound sophomore, and he certainly has played well today in the middle, stuffing the gap as he's down on the field. As we have 8:39 here left to go, third quarter. Ridgewood with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball at their own 28-yard line, and with 4 first downs, Vinny, have moved the ball over to the 20, sets up a second and short here in third quarter.
Yeah, and one thing I think I have to mention here is I've been broadcasting for about 7 years now here at Clifton, and I've always said this: we never want to see any sort of injuries, whether it's the opposing team, whether it's the home team. You know, we're hoping that this young man, I believe that is Jason Perez, the sophomore, and we're hoping that he is okay. Coach Sinkyu is currently taking a look at him, and we're all hoping for his health. But Monty, you did mention about the Ridgewood drive so far. Ridgewood has been doing a very good job on the offensive side of the ball, and I think that those first downs, they've gone into enemy territory, and this is the first trip either team, I believe, has taken into the red zone. So this is a big opportunity here for Ridgewood, and unfortunately for Clifton, they're losing one of their better starters in Jason Perez. Especially with how good that front seven's been, it's going to be a tough loss. Let's hope he's okay.
He is limping off the field, and let's give a shout out to the athletic trainers for Clifton. That's Tom Cotillo and Nicole Barthwick. They both do a tremendous job athletic training for all varsity sports, all sports here at Clifton.
Yeah, they've done a great job keeping these young guys healthy and ready to go.
Handoff up the middle. That's McCrone again. He's flipped over, but he's able to get the yardage for a first down. That's Gavin McCrone again on the carry. About an 8-yard gain. That'll move the chains, set up a 1st and 10 at the Clifton 11. Yeah,
and another really good run there. And Ridgewood is actually in a great spot. I love this spot for offenses because not only you don't just need to get in the end zone. It's not 1st and goal. So when you get to the 1-yard line, you get a fresh set of downs. So now you don't have to be like, all right, we have to go for it every down. No, you get that fresh set of downs once you get to the 1-yard line.
Clifton certainly looking for their second turnover of the game on defense. They could use one here. McCrone looking to the left-hand side. That's Parapento up the middle. And is he enough? No, they'll spot him short. They'll spot him short at about the 1. And that was Buwotnik on the carry. 5'11", 175-pound running back. Sophomore came up just short, and that'll set up a 1st and goal at the 1.
Yep, and they're at a perfect spot now. And you know what? Ridgewood has done such a good job running the ball. Maybe you expect to see a quarterback sneak. Clifton did it on their last drive when it was 4th and a yard, and they were able to get that yard with no problem. Ridgewood might be able to do the same thing here, especially with how good their quarterback has been moving.
One back set. Gavin McCrone Jr. under center. Man in motion, right to left. Hands up the middle, and it looks like it will be enough, and it is. That'll be a touchdown, Ridgewood. First touchdown of the game goes to Ridgewood on the 1-yard carry. And Ridgewood takes a 6-0 lead here with 7:05 left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, still a lot of time left, but honestly, that is a perfect drive for Ridgewood. You could not ask for a better drive there, opening up the second half, and they take the 6-0 lead.
Ridgewood now in formation. Looks like they may be going for 2. McCrone in a shotgun formation. Pitch left. That's the Parapento. Does he have enough? I'm not sure. He does not. He came up short. That was a great tackle by Joseph Deming. Joseph Deming cut him short just shy of the goal line, and it keeps the score at 6-0.
Yeah, 6-0. Great job there by the Clifton defense / special teams. Ridgewood, I guess, didn't want to go for the extra point. Maybe they didn't have the kicker. Maybe they just didn't want to go for it. Maybe they just felt they had so much momentum. But Clifton with a great stop there, and that 1 point could make or break this game. If Clifton gets the touchdown on the next drive and they get an extra point, well, all of a sudden they're up by 1. Clifton gets a field goal. It's a 3-point game.
Big play of the game. Certainly we knew that coming in, that Ridgewood was not going to be shut out. So Clifton playing very well on the defensive side. The fact the score is only 6 6-0 with 7 minutes left to go here, third quarter. Clifton will again receive. This will be their first possession of the second half. And what are you looking for here in terms of offense for Clifton?
Yeah, for Clifton's offense, I'm looking for kind of similar to what the Ridgewood did. Just keep running the ball. But to me, keep running the ball on the inside. Clifton running the ball on the outside, they kind of struggled. But when they run in between the A gap and the B gap, they have been absolutely fantastic. So keep running in between the center and the guard, or in between the guard and the tackle. Avoid running on the outside. That's where Ridgewood's defense is at its best. So again, very similar to Ridgewood. Old school football. Run the ball on first and second down and pass on third if you have to.
Kyle Caramagno on the kick. Receiving his Bauman on the left-hand side, has a gap, but he's tackled short. And nice tackle there by number 12, Christian Hash. And looks like there's a flag on the play. Let's see what the flag is. It was a good return. Ball set at about the 28 of Clifton. Let's see what the call is here.
Looked like there was a little extracurricular activity after the play, so that might be maybe an illegal block or an unsportsmanlike conduct. But we'll see what the official call is from the ref. And it's a personal foul on Ridgewood.
Big call there for Clifton, Vinny. That gives them an extra 15 yards and sets them up in nice field position to open up their first possession of the second half.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be past the 35-yard line, about the 38, and that's great field position. But, Clifton has had good field position all game pretty much, it feels like, but they haven't been able to put up any points. Let's see what the Clifton kids offense can do now that they're fresh coming out of halftime.
Ryan Cisco, again, they rotate quarterbacks between Messiah Campbell and Cisco. Cisco, again, a sophomore, 5'11", 135, number 19. He's in shotgun formation. First offensive possession for Clifton, critical possession for Clifton. They run it up the middle. That's Joseph Deming. Deming with a gap, was able to get some yards. Nice gain there for about 7. Call it second and about 3 here. Nice run there by Joseph Deming, who just made the tackle to cut the 2-point conversion short.
And Clifton not getting off the field. They're running that hurry-up offense.
Cisco again on their shotgun. Watt to his right, Deming to his left. They look over to offensive corner Anthony Giordano for the play call. Snap. Handoff again to Deming. Deming has a gap up the middle, and just as you said, ball's loose. Fumble recovery by Ridgewood. Critical fumble there by Ridgewood as Ridgewood was able to recover. Deming had a gap, looked like he had the first down, but he put it on the ground. First turnover for Clifton in the game, and it evens up the turnover battle as Ridgewood turned it over once in the first half. Now Clifton in the second half, and Ridgewood will regain possession. This will be their second possession of the second half.
Yeah, and an excellent play there by the defense, able to strip the ball loose. And, Deming, you mentioned him earlier about how he might be tired from playing both sides of the ball, and that's the result of playing both sides of the ball. You gotta lose focus when you're holding on to it. And Ridgewood able to get the ball in great field position after they just put up 6. Let's see if they can capitalize on the turnover.
Critical defensive stand here for Clifton. McCrone hands up off the middle. Nice tackle. Good tackle there by Thomas Bowman, 6'1", 100-pound senior. Nice tackle. Looked like it could have been more than that, but Bowman with a nice tackle limits the damage there. Sets up a second and about 6.
And we're already halfway through this third quarter. Neither team has passed the ball yet this quarter. And I think that's just a sign of how much they trust these running backs. Ridgewood's going to keep running the ball. Clifton has to come up with an answer.
Second and 6. McCrone under center. Parapento one back set. Man in motion is Brody Parapento. Hand up the middle. It's got about a yardage, and big gain there again for Ridgewood up the seam. That's number 1, Bew Woodrick. He's a 5'11", 175-pound sophomore. Was able to get some yards there and move the chains. Big yardage there again for Ridgewood as they've had success here on their second drive, gaining yards on the ground.
Yeah, an absolutely huge first down as Ridgewood takes another trip into the red zone at the 19-yard line, and they have been running the ball effectively all quarter. The whole quarter, they have not had to pass the ball once, and that was one of the big major keys with Ridgewood. You knew they were going to run the ball, and Clifton just doesn't have an answer. Ridgewood's going to keep running that ball, and I don't see them passing anytime soon.
McCrone under center once again. McCrone up the right-hand side has a gap and cut short. Could have been worse, but it was a nice tackle on the outside as that was Parapento on the carry once again. Gain of about 8, sets up a second and about 2. Nice gain along the right-hand side there again for Ridgewood as Clifton again pinned back in their own zone. 4:25 left to go third quarter, 6-0 Ridgewood, but Ridgewood again closing in on another score.
Yeah, a great play again by Ridgewood. That jet sweep has been dangerous all game.
Parapento under center. Man in motion right to left. Hand up the middle. McCrone will keep. And he's tackled. But it is enough for the first down. We'll set up a first and goal at the 4.
Ridgewood just with that tough, gritty offense just keeps handing the ball off, ground and pound, and Clifton has no answer. Again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but they just can't get the stop. They're at the 4-yard line. They're knocking on the door right now.
Halftime adjustments, and certainly you could see Ridgewood has decided just to run the ball. McCrone under center. He'll hand off to number 3, and it's a touchdown. Again, Brody Parapento will score along the right-hand side as Ridgewood capitalizes on the turnover to go up 2 scores here in the third quarter.
And a great run there, and you know what? All credit here, I believe, goes to the offensive line. He went into the end zone untouched, and Ridgewood now takes a 2-score lead.
Here again, McCrone in this odd set. They're not going to kick it. McCrone's under center. There's 5 linemen along the left-hand side. Now they'll switch over into a conventional set, and they'll look to kick it here as they'll do the conventional extra point, as this is Kyle Caramagno. Kyle Caramagno for the extra point. McCrone's down, kick is up, and it is good, which now extends the lead for Ridgewood to 13-0, 3:31 here in the third quarter. And Clifton now will get the ball for the second time in the second half. And I think there's no question, Vinny, we could say it's going to be a critical drive here for Clifton.
Yeah, this might be the biggest drive of the game for Clifton, and they need to put up some points here, whether it's a field goal, a touchdown. They need to get on the board, but most importantly, they need this drive to get their momentum back. They need a long drive here. Their defense has been on the field for, I would say, the majority of the second half. I would say for about maybe 8 minutes. Their offense is fresh. Their offense is ready. They need to go out there, and they need to put up what they would hope is 6.
Aiden Hussey is back on the return. He's a 5'6", 140-pound senior, along with Uriel Watt. Uriel Watt certainly used often early in the game. Let's see if he gets a few more carries here in the second half. Again, the kicker is Kyle Caramagno, who just converted the extra point. He's a 6', 175-pound senior, and he's lining up to kick. This will be Clifton's second possession of the second half. Caramagno, line drive kick, and it looks like they'll just let it go into the end zone, and they will. And that'll set up a touchback for Clifton as they look to open up their second possession of the second half. But 3:31 here in the third quarter, 13-0 Ridgewood.
And Coach Giordano huddled up with the offense right now, as you can see him. He's definitely working on some scripted plays here. He's trying to give Clifton a pep talk, enough of a pep talk to get them motivated and get them ready to go out there and score. Like we said, this is the critical drive for Clifton, and it will be the most critical drive of the game. Clifton needs to answer here on the offensive side of the ball.
Ryan Sisko again, number 19. seen. He's your sophomore. They rotate quarterbacks between Messiah Campbell and Cisco. Cisco will hand over to Watt. Watt has no gain as he is tackled by Quinn Corian, again a senior, 195-pound senior. No gain. It sets up a 2nd and 10.
A good stop there by Ridgewood, and Clifton. They're gonna stick with the run. You're gonna see them run the ball just as much as Ridgewood did. But the difference between Clifton and Ridgewood is that Ridgewood had their plays set. They knew what they were gonna run. Clifton, I feel like they're just unprepared going into the second drive.
Cisco, quarterback, looking to throw right. Does have a receiver just outside the outstretched arms. As the receiver was there, as it was intended for Jason Mazzone, 6 foot, 140-pound junior, as it looked like he was open there just for a split second, but the ball overthrown there by Cisco.
Yeah, a little too much behind the ball there. I mean, a good look there. He wanted to trust his receiver. He wanted to go deep, but he just had too much behind it, and he was covered pretty well. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 here. Maybe Clifton goes to throw the ball again. I would be surprised if they ran the ball here.
Cisco in shotgun set. Uriel Watt to his right. 3rd and 10, he'll roll right. He's chased down. He's going to throw, and he'll throw it out of bounds. Flag is thrown. May get a break here for Clifton as roughing the passer. As Cisco rolled right, did throw it, and the tackle came in from behind. And this may be a critical call for Clifton, and it is, as it'll set up a 1st down. Big play there for Clifton as the flag then converts them into a 1st down.
And yeah, Clifton definitely caught a break there after that throw out of bounds. You just got to be careful when you're playing this game. Football is a very big, contact sport, but you got to be careful when you're hitting the quarterback. Those roughing the passer calls come out all the time, and Ridgewood wasn't careful enough, and it'll set up a 1st and 10 for Clifton, what they exactly needed.
Cisco in shotgun set, hands off to Domingue. Domingue, a small gap up the middle, gain of about 3, and again, it's critical for Clifton to stay ahead of the chains.
I like that Clifton's still running the ball with Domingue because, sure, he did fumble the ball before, but it shows that they trust their guys, and that's what it's all about in the sport of football, trust, because it's the most team-oriented sport you'll watch. You see basketball 5-on-5, hockey is 5-on-5, but football is 11-on-11, and there are so many guys rotating in or out. It's a team-oriented sport, and Coach Sink, trusts his team.
Cisco again on the shotgun. Uriel Watt split left. Calling the play in from Coach Giordano. 2nd and 7, 155 in counting here. He'll hand over to Watt. Watt does have a small seam, gain of about 2 yards. We'll set up about a 3rd and 4.
And I like Clifton running the ball again there. When you run the football, you want to get at least 3 yards every run. And now Clifton is 3rd and 4. They need 1 more yard than what they've gotten on the last 2 runs. And I think with the 2-headed monster between Watt and Domingue in the backfield, they might be able to get it here.
Manageable down in distance. Cisco in shotgun. Watt to his left. Mazzone in motion. He'll hand over to Mazzone. He'll go to left. He's trying to get to that 1st down marker, and he does. Nice play as he's able to get out there. Nice run by, Aiden Hussey. 5'6", 145-pound senior was able to stretch it out and get a 1st down, critical 1st down here for Clifton, keep the drive alive.
Yeah, an absolutely fantastic play there. As soon as he got to the outside, he kicked it into his 2nd gear and was able to pick up that big 1st.
Cisco again, shotgun formation. Uriel Watt in the backfield alongside with him. 3 wide set along the right-hand side. Watt with the carry. Does get some yards, maybe about 3. Sets up a 2nd and 7. And certainly we're seeing a lot more Uriel Watt here in the second half.
Yeah, great job there by Watt. Another nice run. I mean, he kind of reminds me when I think of players like him. Like I said, he's a 5'6" running back. He's not very big, but when you think of running backs, legendary running backs just across the NFL, I think of Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles might not have been the biggest running back in the world, but he was able to run the ball and find holes and find gaps as good as anybody else.
Cisco shotgun formation again. He's going to look to drop back to pass. Throws in, and it's picked off along the left-hand sideline. And he's going to run it in for the score. to score is Hudson Feeney. Hudson Feeney on the interception return and flips the script here as it extends the lead for Ridgewood to 19-0. Cisco dropped back, had time, throw right, was deflected, and Feeney was right there and caught the ball about the 45, with about a 45-yard return, and really a big play here in the game because Clifton had possession, had some first downs, was looking to cut the score down to one score. This extends the lead now to 19-0, and Macron again under center. They'll probably just look to kick and to extend the lead to 20-0, and they'll look to do that again with their kicker, Kyle Caramagno.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that you see a lot in practice, you see it in Little League football, you see it in high school football, college football, and professional football as the extra point there goes through. You see this all the time. Tip drill. Tip drill is a critical thing that people study all the time. The defensive side of the ball, every time they say, all right, once that ball goes up in the air, you got to make a play. Not only did he get the ball there, though, he was able to return it for 6. He did a great job there. He read the ball, he saw it in the air, made the right play, and his defensive teammates came along, made some great blocks, and Ridgewood now just sucked all the life out of Clifton. It is 20-0, and a fantastic defensive performance from Ridgewood so far.
And we talk about turnovers. Turnovers are so critical in a football game, and certainly Clifton not turning over the ball once in the first half, turning it over here twice in the second half, both leading to Ridgewood touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's a very interesting thing because one of the major issues I said with Clifton is that they need to be able to run the ball effectively, and they couldn't run the ball effectively. They had to pass it, and it leads it to 6 points for Ridgewood. So I'm not saying that Clifton can't throw the ball. They certainly can, but oh man, an absolute disaster start here for Clifton, and Ridgewood could have asked for a better start to the second half.
Ball is kicked off. This is Bowman looking to find a seam, but he's cut short at about the 21-yard line. Certainly Ridgewood with momentum here in the third quarter, and that'll close down the third quarter as the third quarter comes to a close with the score Ridgewood 20, Clifton 0. We'll be back to start the fourth quarter.
You told me you were like, bro, Super Bowl to take.
Okay, now Clifton again with possession. Opening stages here, fourth quarter. They'll go back to Campbell, roaming up the middle, and not much there. Maybe a 1-yard gain as Ridgewood stuffs up the middle pretty cleanly there. This will set up approximately a second and about 9. And Clifton here, down 20-0, has to find a way on this drive to get some yards and put points on the board and put a little pressure here on Ridgewood.
Yeah, Clifton definitely needs to get on the board here. There's no question. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If Clifton doesn't get on the board here, I think this game is as good as over.
Messiah Campbell again on shotgun. Wide left is Jason Mazzone. Referee blows the whistle. Not sure what's going on here. Look probably to reset the play clock. As Coach Giordano calling in the plays. One back set with Watt. Campbell on a shotgun. He'll look to hand it over. That's Domingue along the right-hand side. Maybe a couple yards. Ridgewood defense stifles there along the left-hand side. As again, tackle made by Drew Gorman. He's been active on the defensive side. He's a 6'2", 195-pound senior. Playing both sides of the ball. Certainly has made some tackles in the backfield here.
Yeah, really good job by the Ridgewood front seven in this second half. And it was a misdirection run. So they looked like they were going to go to the near side. They went to the far side. But Ridgewood was there. They read it perfectly. Then Clifton might have to go to the air again. It's 3rd and 5. And they have to be careful here. The last time they went to the air, they got 6 points, but it went to the other team. So they have to be careful here.
Campbell again with Domingue in the backfield. Shotgun formation, 2 split ride, man in motion right to left. Campbell snap, drops back, does have time, throws a screen to Domingue. Domingue does have some room, and it looks like he may just have enough for the first down. Good play call there by Clifton on the screen as Domingue with the reception, gain of about 7, and just enough for the first down, sets up a first down, and Clifton looking to go to hurry up, have no choice, down 3 scores here, 4th quarter.
Yeah, they have to get downfield. They have to start moving quick. They're already 2 minutes deep into this 4th quarter.
Campbell again, Domingue to his left. He'll end it off to Domingue. Domingue up the middle, and maybe a yard. Late hit there. Could have been a flag, but no call there. But sets up a 2nd and 9 for Clifton with 9:30 and counting here last quarter, 4th quarter of the game. 20-0. The score was 0-0 at the half. Ridgewood with 20 third quarter points. 2 scores coming off turnovers, one on a fumble, the other on an interception return, and it certainly has flipped the script here for the game as Clifton on a 2nd and 9. Campbell again, shotgun, looks to drop back, throws along the left-hand side, complete. Gain of about 7 should be enough for about just short. It'll set up a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, very nice play there. You know, Clifton's best pass of the game was on a comeback route earlier, and it's the same route to the same side of the field. I love that play call.
Mazzone on the reception there. Flag on the play. I'm not sure. It could be a false start, and it is. It's a tough call there because now 3rd and 3 becomes 3rd and 8. So it sets them back, and again, Clifton have to try to keep short distance here on 3rd down. Now 3rd and 8. They may end up doing a pass play here instead of a running play. Again, critical that they convert. They're on their own side of the field, so I'm not sure if they don't convert, if they do go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, they might not go for it, but if you ask me, if they get close enough here, this is 4 down territory for Clifton.
Campbell again, number 9. He's 5'10", 145. He's going to look to run it himself along the right-hand side. Nice run there. Was able to avoid a tackle and get a critical first down. Keep the chains moving here for Clifton.
Yeah, an excellent run there. He took it himself, went to the left side, had enough blockers, and the key there was he was about 3 yards short, but was able to stay in bounds, tiptoe his way to the first down marker, and now Clifton has a fresh set of downs, but they have to hurry up here.
8:51 here, 4th quarter. Pass along the right-hand side is complete, but tackled probably for a 1-yard loss. As that was Aiden Nolan on the reception, 6'1", 175-pound junior, 2-sport star, also plays basketball for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Aiden Nolan is a fantastic athlete here at Clifton, but one thing I have to say, I am not the biggest fan of that play call. If you're going to throw the ball, I think you have to throw it past the sticks. You are at a point in the game where running the ball and throwing screens are only going to chew the clock out. You are 4 minutes deep now, or approximately 4 minutes deep into this quarter, and now the clock's still going and you lost a yard. Clifton is seriously hurting themselves here.
2nd and 11, 8:05 left to go. Campbell under center, hands back to Watt, and gains about 4 yards. That'll set up a 3rd 3rd and approximately 8 with 7:50 and counting here. 4th quarter, both teams still have their timeouts as there's a man on the field. Looks like there is an injury on the field. This will be an official's timeout with 7:47 left to go in the game on this absolutely beautiful August night here in Clifton. Certainly the opening game of the season. As I mentioned before, Clifton will play at at Eastside on the 5th of September, followed by at Passaic. Next home game is against Morristown on the 19th, and then they're at Bayonne at Morristown. So only one home game until homecoming on the 17th of October. 8-game schedule for both sides. Certainly that does not include playoffs. Luckily, the injury was not too serious. This, again, a critical 3rd and 7 at the 49. At Ridgewood's 49. Sets up a 3rd and 7. Campbell on the shotgun. Snap, he drops back, has plenty of time, goes right again to Deming. Deming cuts left, but he's cut short. Good tackle along the left-hand side, as that'll set up a 4th and about 5, maybe a 2-yard gain there by Deming. As again, tackle made again by Gorman, as he's certainly been active here in the game, as that was his 6th tackle of the game. Certainly now sets up a 4th and 5. Obviously a critical down here for Clifton, Vinny.
Yeah, a big down here for Clifton. They need to get the first down if they want to have a chance in this game. And they can't go with under the screen here. They have to go past the sticks, and they have to throw the ball.
You gotta relate to him.
Campbell in the shotgun. Drops back. Good protection. Throws left, but it's thrown short. Thrown short. It was intended for Nolan, but the pass was short. Looked like he was open, but he short-armed it, and that'll be a turnover on downs as Ridgewood will regain possession with 6:45 here to go in the game with a 20-0 lead. Ridgewood, of course, looks like they seem comfortable here with a 20-0 lead here 4th quarter.
Yeah, and you know, when I'm looking at Ridgewood and I'm looking at the way they're playing, they have been like a well-oiled machine. It looks like two completely different teams here compared from the first half to the second half. They have been absolutely fantastic here in the second half, and there's no doubt in my mind that they will continue to do this throughout the season.
Run up the middle, good gain there for 9 yards as Bo Waltrick, again, 175-pound, 5'11", sophomore. Good yardage there. Gain of about 8. We'll call it 2nd and 2. Ball on the Clifton 44-yard line. Clock is running. Both teams, again, have their full slate of timeouts. Score 20-0, and Ridgewood in firm command.
Yeah, and Ridgewood going to keep running the ball. I mean, this game is up. They're up 20-0. There's no reason for them to pass the ball. Just keep running the ball. Keep letting the clock run down if you're Ridgewood.
McCrone under center, hands off again. That is, again, number 11, Marcus Fush. That's his first carry of the game. 6 foot, 990-pound sophomore gets a carry. Gain of about 3, and looks like they may be just short. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, 3rd and a yard here for Ridgewood. Actually, they may be moving the chain.
They are moving the chain, so it's just enough for the first down. Gives them a fresh set of downs with 5:40 and counting here, 4th quarter.
Yep, Ridgewood in no rush, and they are smart for running this clock down as they should. Taking their time.
Snap up the middle. Nice gain up there again. Sets up a 2nd and short. Tackle along the sideline again there by secondary by Clifton. And again, nice yards there by Ridgewood on a first down carry. It seems like Clifton's defense has been a little bit worn down here second half.
Yeah, Clifton's defense is definitely exhausted. I mean, especially with being out there for most of the 3rd quarter, you got to think that this defense is definitely somewhat tired. And this Ridgewood offense, sure, they might be tired too, but they have all the momentum in the world. The momentum goes a long way.
McCrone on their center. Hands off right-hand side, cuts up there. Now there's a seam as it's finally cut down by Thomas Bowman. That is number 33, Zach Rosen, 5'7", 160-pound junior. First carry, gets a first down again as Ridgewood is having no problems moving chains here on this possession.
Yeah, great job there by Ridgewood being able to just move the ball downfield, get there slowly but surely, and they may even put up another score. Who knows? It's not a bad idea to score again, but Ridgewood probably wants to score with no time left and just get out of here and secure the win.
McCrone under center, junior running back. Man in motion right to left, handover up the middle, and gain of about 3. Nice tackle there by Isaiah Best. Isaiah Best tackle. That's his 4th tackle of the game. As Best clogs up the middle, sets up a second, and we'll call it 7. As again, Marcus Flush on the carry. 190-pound, 6-foot sophomore on the carry. Gain of about 3 sets up a 2nd and 7 on the Clifton 23.
Ridgewood in no rush still.
McCrone under center again. Looks to his sideline. Certainly no rush at all. They'll wind the play clock down. Looks right. Now he's set. Man in motion right to left. They'll hand it up again to Flush up the middle. Has a gap. And tackle just short again. Nice tackle there by Jaden Mazzone. Saved the touchdown. But again, Ridgewood poised to score again here in the 4th quarter. 3:13 and counting 4th quarter with 20-0 lead. Certainly in no rush. Another first down here for Ridgewood.
Yeah, 100% in no rush. And Ridgewood, once again, another trip to the red zone for them. And they've been pretty successful ever since they've taken a trip to the red zone. Every time they've been in there, they've scored. Ridgewood has done a fantastic job in this area. But again, sure, they may be looking to score, but they want to kill the clock and get out of here.
McCrone rather looking right. Now set. Man in motion. They'll hand it over. Man in motion up the middle. And touchdown again as he gets through. That's number 33. Zach Rosen on the carry. 5'7", 155-pound running back. As he scores the 4th touchdown of the half for Ridgewood to extend the lead to 26-0 with 2:35 here, 4th quarter. As Ridgewood again on this possession was able to move the ball via the carry. No passes at all here in the second half for Ridgewood.
And Coach Watson has done a fantastic job so far. Whatever he said to those players in the locker room definitely worked, because Ridgewood has been nonstop putting up point after point after point, touchdown after touchdown in this half.
Kyle Caramagno again with the extra point. He's 3 for 3 on extra points as it extends the lead to 27-0 with 2:35 left in this home opener. And we are Clifton Live Stream Sports. We live stream most varsity sports throughout the school year. This, of course, is our season opener. We are scheduled for boys and girls soccer, all home games, of course. We are also going to live stream girls volleyball in the fall.
All very exciting stuff. Clifton has a great athletics program, of course, led by our athletic director, Tom Malahy, who has done a fantastic job here since he's been here. I mean, this Clifton athletics program, great coaches and great students, great players. And, we're, of course, we love the football season. We're always excited for that. But please come back. Keep watching all of the sports that we're ready to present these to you guys. And we're excited for this season.
And we certainly are thankful for being provided the necessary resources to bring live stream to you. Certainly we have fans from all across the country listening in, and we're thankful for that. We take pride in what we do, so certainly keep in touch of what our schedule does bring to you, as we do pretty much host all varsity home games. Next week, I know we're slated for some girls and boys soccer, so certainly that's exciting. And we'll be back to bring you those games live right after the Labor Day weekend as the school year begins.
Yeah, we're very, very grateful for you guys.
Reception. Uriel Watt tackled at about the 30, and looks like it's at the 30-yard line, and Clifton will, again, with their 5th possession of the second half, with 2:28 down, 27-0. This most likely will be their last possession of the game as Coach Giordano gathers his troops, and he'll send them out there as the score is 27-0, 2:28 left to go, 4th quarter. And Messiah Campbell will be again under center. Deming on a one-back set. Snap. Deming up the middle. Gain of about 1.
Yeah, and I think Clifton, this last drive for them is just basically for pride at this point. I mean, they're down 27-0. There's no chance of them coming back here. And you know what? Clifton did a really good job in that first half. I'm not completely sure what happened. I mean, this team just kind of folded in the second half. But if Clifton keeps playing like that first half team these next couple games, who knows? Maybe when they come back to Joseph Greco Field, they come back with a few wins.
Certainly a lot of bright spots here today. Certainly there was. Both sides of the football, as again up the middle, and tackle was made.
The ball might have came loose there.
Not exactly sure as we look at the official mark, and it'll be Clifton possession. And we talk about turning points of the game, and certainly when we look at turning point of the game when it was 6-0, Clifton had possession of the ball, and they fumbled, and Ridgewood recovered and then scored on the ensuing possession. It seemed like the momentum just switched from there, and Clifton was just unable to regain it back.
Yeah, they just couldn't quite get that energy back that they had coming into the second half. I mean, coming into the second half, in the very beginning, Clifton actually didn't look very bad, and then they fumbled the ball, and then Ridgewood ended up making it a 2-score game. Then they threw a pick 6, and that really took all the life out of Clifton, and now Ridgewood scored another touchdown. They can't get anything going on offense, and, a key thing here for Clifton was being able to not turn the ball over. Just don't turn it over. That's the number 1 rule in football, and they turned it over twice. An absolute disaster struck for them.
Sets up a 4th and 5 with 40 seconds left to go in the game. Watt in a one-back set. Messiah Campbell under center. Snap, hands off to Watt. Watt looks to cut right, makes a nice cut up the middle, and gets enough for the first down. Nice run there by Uriel Watt, not giving up. Showing some pride there, was able to break a tackle and get a first down and move the chains.
Yep, a great play there by Watt, and he was one of the very few bright spots of Clifton in this second half. Maybe the Clifton team didn't look that great, but Uriel Watt has been good from start to finish, and I think that's going to wrap up the game. Ridgewood with an absolute statement win here in Week 0.
We thank you for joining us here in Week 0 at Clifton Stadium as Marcello Monti, along with Vinny Churchillo. We thank you for joining us. And again, the next home game for Clifton football will be on the 19th of September. We'll bring it to you live against Morristown. Thank you for joining us, and have a good night, and have a safe Labor Day weekend.
Have a good night, Clifton.